another
Okay.
episode of LT Adventures. I'm LT Robinson 25, and we are starting up a weekly report for House Wolf. Our guest today is going to be our leader, warlord, if you will, of House of Wolf, Cutter Wolf. Without further ado, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself to everybody. Cutter.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. As LT pointed out, I am the warlord of the House Wolf organization. We're an organization we built our whole persona around being a mercenary group, loosely based on the Mandalorian life and culture. But we wanted to weave it into the storyline of Star Citizen. So we did a lot of digging, found out we're a planet that held a particular skull that we liked that is actually purchasable in the game, and built our entire storyline around that. So we actually had something to tie back to and to build a nice, strong foundation for the organization. So it's been a fun ride. Have picked up lots of friends along the way, and just like everybody else, we're waiting for the game to get into a nice, stable environment for us to be able to really, sink our teeth into getting down to brass tacks on what we want to do. But until that time, we always set up different events and stuff with the organization, and we invite people to come out. If you like what we're doing, if you don't want to be tied down by an organization that forces you to spend so many hours a day at doing a particular thing, or you got to give up your money, or you can only do certain missions and stuff. We're not like that. We're just a bunch of cool old guys who just like playing this particular game and along with others, and having fun, the as much fun as we possibly can.
Well, let's see here. I guess
I'll
what
take for
got
that.
you started, I guess, from the get go of like bring me into, how you guys came together and decided to start House Wolf.
Well, there was it started out actually with just two of us, and we were with another organization, and they were a large organization, but yet they were large on paper, but not large in presence. As far as if you came on and wanted to play, sometimes you were the only person in comms. There wasn't anybody else around. And this is an organization that was bragging thousands of members. Well, you figure if an organization says it's got thousands of members, you should be able to come on any time of the day or night and have people to play with. Well, there wasn't. So we said, well, why don't we do our own thing? Let's form our own mercenary unit. So that's exactly what we did. And then we just started going out into the verse there and looking for people who were looking for other folks to play with. And we would just reach out to somebody. Like if we saw someone just came up in chat and said, hey, is anybody, wanting to do a mission, or I need a gunner or something like that, we would just jump in there and go do it. Or we'd go on, medical rescue beacons and stuff and go out there and help somebody. And just that initial contact with them and then finding out that, hey, man, these guys are pretty cool and stuff, and they wanted to hang out. So we would just invite them to our Discord channel, and, one thing would lead to another, and we'd ask them to join the org, and we just started forming from there.
So we got the history of House of Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see here. We got events coming up, right?
Yes. So our next event is actually tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it is a mission that we have designed for our lockups, which is our logistical command. And it's basically you got to get into a hot zone, pick up some critical cargo for the org, get it loaded, and get out and fly back to where you need to be at in the quickest possible time and turnaround. And of course, we'll have three teams. There'll be the logistical team, there'll be a ground combat team, and then there'll be an air combat team. And then, of course, there'll be the other team that they don't know about yet, which is going to be our Op 4 forces that are going to come in and do their best to disrupt that operation. The whole idea for this is to train the lock ops people on exactly what they need to do and how fast these things need to be done so that we can get what we need to get and get out of there. So a lot of times, when people are doing box missions and stuff, they like to stack boxes certain ways. They like to do, different things because of the way that they want to stack on the ships. Well, this exercise is going to stress the importance of that's not important. What's important is to get what you need onto the ship and get the hell out of there as fast as possible. So if you have to leave people behind, you leave people behind. If we're out of there and the Op 4 team is tearing up the cargo ship, if you're in the flight ops operations, if you have to ram that ship to take it out so that our cargo ship can get out of there, then that's your mission. Ram that ship and get it out of there. So this is going to probably poke holes in some strategies that they may have set up and become a real good learning tool. So we'll outbreed afterwards. We'll do a little bit of role play at the beginning like we always do, which is a lot of fun. Get everybody hyped up for the event. And then we'll do the off brief for all three teams afterwards, and we'll do a little lessons learned and stuff. So when the next exercise comes around, we'll go ahead and readjust and tune for that exercise to see if they can do a better job the second time around.
Yes, and I'm going to say this from, first of all, chat, anybody that doesn't know Op 4 is pretty much friendlies playing as adversaries or, role players to help out pretty much to cause that tension, that pressure that, like when I was in the Army, when we were training, we did the most extreme possible things. Once you think you're in the clear, here comes artillery. Then you got 2-3 guys come down and you got to call up for medevac. All this craziness is going on for a reason. It's stressful and it's meant to be stressful. It's meant to be a tool for you to learn from. Leaders, you're meant to be able to be leaders. And if you mess up, it's okay. That's the place that we would like to see you mess up. So we can talk about it during the back brief. So we can do our Q&As and say, this is the things you guys did great. These are the things that we've seen that you can improve on. And that's what is supposed to happen during an exercise like this.
Yeah. This is where we want them to fail, because then you get the better learning experience is the harder you failed that particular part of the mission. Now we can go back and examine why you failed it. And then we can talk to the Op 4 force and say, this is what they did and how they penetrated your defenses. So now you can then plan ahead for that stuff. But this is where we want them to make the mistakes, not during our actual missions where we go out to actually get that kind of cargo and stuff and fly it out of there.
Absolutely. And I will say this, a lot of people have failed at doing exercises like this because they play the buddy role, and that can't be something that anybody can learn from. It's not a time to take it easy because you're failing your buddy if you do that.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly right. Yeah, you're actually doing them a disservice by not giving it your full effort.
Yes. And make sure that you're understanding that I guess like what you are capable of doing and learning that skill set and everybody has stronger skills and that's where people get placed, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't learn a little bit to know a little bit about what needs to get done just in case somebody goes down. That's the reason why that we think ahead of like who's the next in the line. Squad leader goes down, who takes over,
Yeah. It's nice because you push people out of their comfort zone. And
exactly.
And then they start learning, how far they can go and stuff. And some people don't realize that they actually have some skills they didn't realize they actually had.
Absolutely. That's exactly it. because it's the fight or flight mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people got it and other people don't, but until they're in that moment, they don't know what they're capable of doing.
Yep.
And that's where the back briefs and a reason for exercises. But um, um, let's talk about like if I was a fresh, just played Star Citizen day one, haven't done anything in the game, how would I expect myself jumping in?
Well, once we'd get you in one of our channels and stuff, we would normally what we do is we ask them, how long have you been playing? What are you interested in? Is it just you really haven't figured out what you want to do yet? But there might be a couple of things that interest you, so we can try and figure out where they fit into. Because normally you have two sets of players. You got the running gunners and you've got the cargo box guys, and normally that's where the majority of folks fit into. And by asking them these questions and stuff, we can kind of get a little bit of a feel of where they're at, and then we'll just start taking them on some of those missions and just see, hey, do you really like this and stuff? And then if they're like, nah, it's not quite what I thought it was, then we'll move them over and do some FPS missions and stuff and say, hey, is this more your style? And walk them through that kind of good stuff. Also, what we like to do too is when we get, especially real new people to the game, is to take them on a couple of missions that we know well, go inside there, and then we can get them and gear them up. Because normally, people just starting out don't have a lot of gear, and they don't have the UAC to purchase that stuff. So we'll go on a mission that will actually produce a large amount of gear for them, get them all that stuff. If we can, once they actually say, okay, well, hey, you guys are pretty cool, I think I want to join you guys, and we bring them on board, then we try to go ahead and say, okay, well, what kind of ship are you interested in? And work towards either building the money up with them to get them to that, goal ship that they have, or we have our own org bank and stuff. And what we like to do too for new members and stuff that we want to make sure that they can prosper and stuff, is we'll dig into that account and buy them their first ship. So they'll have that first ship out of our org funds and stuff, and then they can go out and start, building that experience in that particular branch of what they want to do.
Yeah, and that's really good. Like that's a good introduction to, hey, welcome in,
Mm-hmm.
and we're embracing you.
Right.
Um,
And we like to talk to them about, the different issues and problems, obviously, with the game, with the bugs and it being in an alpha state and stuff. So to try and, manage expectations about what you can or cannot get out of the game at this particular stage where it's at. And that's a big thing, because a lot of people can get frustrated very quickly, you know, because the bug, they get their ship and just out of the blue, their ship just blows up, and then they don't understand and they get upset. And it's one of those where we sit down and talk to them and just say, hey, you got to come in with that knowledge that this stuff just disappears, but you didn't pay for it with real money anyway, so don't worry about it. We can rebuild everything you lose, we can get back in a single gaming system,
Session.
session.
Yeah.
So, don't worry about it. Just, laugh it off. That's what we normally do. It's like, well, yeah, that happens, and you just press on.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that I guess I'll touch on as well, is the fact that, when I first started playing this game, you couldn't even walk out of
Yeah.
your hab without terrible gameplay. Like you're moving like a centimeter a second.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very broken, and I took like a 7-year hiatus from it. One of my buddies, he talked me back into give it a try, game, and I was like, nah, man. I went to try to figure out how to get out of my hangar, and I couldn't, and the ship blew up, and I'm like, I'm not about it. He's like, no, come in and I'll run you through it. And I ran through it with him. I understood like the button prompts and get myself set up and everything. And the game was still broken as crap, but it was playable.
Yeah.
Um, we're in a good state, honestly, I think. What do you think,
Oh
Connor?
yeah. Since back then, or if, people were around back in the the 318 patch, which was just like an ungodly nightmare that everybody just wants to pretend never happened. But, trying to build, and we were, building our organization back during those patches and stuff, and it's trying to get somebody to come in and spend some time, with the org and learn different skills and build up their UAC and do the things that they want to do in the game was like near impossible because of the status of that patch. But now, I mean, it's like night and day from 318 to now. These are what a lot of people consider huge game breaking bugs. That was nothing. That's nothing compared to the way it was back in 318. So yeah, it's come a long ways.
Yeah, brokers saying we don't speak of the patch.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Yeah, it's the patch that shall not be named.
so I can't agree more. I think 4.0.2, a lot of people that took a break from the game are probably going to roll back in. I think that things that are coming out, like I was watching, let's see, Week in Review with another streamer, and I will say that they're working on everything that you can think of to make this game functional, which is great. The fact that they were pushing marketing when the game is in the worst state during Citizen Con, when new players could go out and free fly, and you couldn't free fly. It's like, what a slap in the face to content creators and like people that are, backers and everything. And I think this wake up call of everybody coming together and sounding the call that, hey, work on the game. We'd like to get out of our elevator and out of our hangars and call our ships and not fall through maps. Let's make this work. I think this is like the right direction. And I get that some people are upset that they're not working on the features, but I think that's the...
Yeah, but those can wait. There's a lot of features in the game that are really good if they worked 100% of the time. And it's amazing that it took this many years for them to finally realize, hey, we need to have a stable platform first before we start adding in features. Exactly. That's exactly what you need to do. Because even in an alpha status, if you have a stable game that people can actually get in it and play for several hours with very little issues, they're going to come back. And if your goal is to release, Squadron 42 next year, which is not far off now, you're going to have this part of the game in a playable status. You're going to have to. And I think that's the reason why they changed to this year of focusing for stability, because they're trying to stabilize the game so when those people get hooked by that single player game and want to do the multiplayer game and stuff, they're going to want to have that same stability you have in that single player game in the multiplayer version. Because you can always add features down the road, but you got to clean the house first. Get that all squared away.
They're going to have to keep the game rolling. Otherwise,
Exactly.
it's just going to die out.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Late,
that's okay.
We got Sandy typing in chat. He's saying that his account was locked out during 3.18. Been there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our members are still got locked accounts. They can't play the game, or they'd be playing with us. Let's put it that way.
We have Herb. Perfect example. Herb, for patches upon patches upon patches, couldn't log into the game. As soon as he would fire it up and try and get in there, it'd black screen out on him, and that was it. And it took us forever to finally get him to where he could actually come in and start playing again. But he hung in there. That was the whole thing. He understood and could wrap his head around the fact that it will get to the point where he'll be able to rejoin and come back in there. But he never gave up that hope and stuff. And we continued to, we even put in our org bank UAC aside for him. So when he came back in, we, went ahead and transferred him a whole bunch of UAC to make up for all the lost time he missed in the game.
And that's what makes a good org, right? Looking out for your brethren and sisters.
Exactly.
Let's say that base building takes another like into 2026, which might, in my opinion, be a reality. But would we rather have like everything that's presently just optimized, like crazy good? Because in my opinion, you can't build a sturdy house on pebbles. You need a
right.
solid foundation. Is my
Yeah.
opinion on it.
I wouldn't want to have base building with the game in the status it is now, because base building is obviously going to take a lot of time and a lot of resources, and I can't even imagine the frustration level of finally getting that last piece that you need to build your base, to start putting the foundations for your base down, and the game crash or the ship just blows up for no particular reason, or the server goes down and comes back up and the ship's gone, the cargo's gone, and now you got to start all over from scratch. That would be infuriating. I would much rather we have the features we have in game now complete, working close to, or at least at about a 90% level, and do that, and then introduce the base building slowly so that we can actually get to where we can get to that state to where we actually lay down our first buildings and stuff, that they're not just going to magically disappear and wreck all that time and stuff that we put in and the effort that we put in to actually do that.
And we're actually seeing that now because items are, despawning so they can be reset.
Yep.
And I think that's good because, for the simple fact that, yeah, it'd be great if items stayed, but there needs to be some kind of other mindset if that's the case, to reset the missions. But from my experience, seeing some desyncs and still falling through maps and things like that, I think that we need more shards. They need to put server meshing more fast. And I think they're getting that data, they're getting that information to optimize it because it seems like it's getting better and better.
Yeah. And the smaller things too, like, ships shouldn't stay, destroyed ships shouldn't stay persistent for like ever. That they should be persistent for so long, for so many hours or whatnot, so that salvage vessels can come out there and actually have that part of that gameplay. But at some point, the server needs to clean that crap up.
I have an idea on that.
Dropping bottles and crap like that, all those little bitty items that the server has to track. They got to have some kind of system in there to clean that up so that you can relieve that pressure off the server.
Here's my idea on that. So let's say that somebody decides to log off and leave their ship, right? For every, let's say, 30 minutes that goes by, the price goes up for a salvage mission. And that goes to the player claiming his ship. So the longer that ship stays stagnant on that server, the bigger the hit is in their wallet, which means that, they're going to want to go and take the ship back to port. Or salvage is going to be very intrigued to go, oh, wow, 1 million credits for me to go clean up this ship. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I'll go do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna make it a lot more interesting for the salvagers to go over there, because it's gonna make that target a lot more, desirable to go over there and actually clean that thing out of there and get it out of the server. And that's, that should be the goals. That let's do stuff smart so that we can free up these resources in the servers. And they should have something along the line where those shards, like every 2 weeks, should shut down for an hour and reboot, so that they can clean all that crap out of there and reinitiate that stuff. Because anyone who's been playing this game for a while knows every time a new patch comes out and they load them, the majority of the time that is, because there has been some times that the patches have come out and they've been terrible right out of the get-go. They play for the first couple of days or first week or so fantastic. Frame rates through the roof. Everything's working, just optimally. And then as that server goes on, for those weeks on weeks afterwards without a reset, it degrades and just keeps on degrading and degrading and degrading. So if they can figure out where that, degradation window is critical at, they should be restarting those servers so that that server can refresh, come back in with a nice fresh clean patch and run from that point forward and stuff to fix all that degradation that's been taking place.
Yep. And this is the time. This is the reason why, in my opinion, Cutter, that we need to focus on being proactive to bring an attention to things that need to be fixed. This is the time.
Yep.
Not when we get to alpha and then we're like, why is this game playing this way? It's so unfair.
Yeah.
And be smart about it. Think about this. Leave your emotional mindset at home and just put facts and put a good thought out there when you go and address Spectrum or Reddit or wherever the devs are looking, and pay attention to where the devs have been paying attention to, because that's more likely that it's going to be seen. And if it's a practical solution to the problems that we're all facing in this game, it's just going to benefit them to take that and be like, oh yeah, that's a common sense idea. Because in my opinion, it's a common sense thing. Like, think about it. You want to fix people like leaving their ships and stuff like that. It's a simple pitch. If you come up with something better, great. If not, here's an idea. Maybe it'll work. Try it out.
Yeah.
But with that being said, is there anything else that you can think of as far as like any topics we need to address within House Wolf of like future, with Star Citizen and anything at all, sir?
Our main focus right now is just to expand the ranks, but we don't want to do it to where we're just dragging anybody into the ranks. We want people that won't have clashing personalities, people that like to joke around and have a good time and, have got a thick skin so that, because, there's a lot of people, everybody likes to talk crap, and it's just one of those things. I mean, a lot of us in the
Military
org,
mindset.
yeah, yeah, we're old war dogs, or retired law enforcement, you name it, and it's just one of those things. We have a certain type of people who we like to cultivate and bring in with us and stuff. But when we do find those people, we put everything into it. It's not a hey, come on into the organ and we just forget about you type of deal. No, we want to cultivate that relationship, build that friendship. And, the whole main goal is when you come to our org, we want you to want to be with us, to be part of our org, to go out there and rep us, go out there and, look for those people to drag into the organization and stuff. And it's funny because our guys do it all the time. We'll be out there goofing off with somebody and it's like, hey, should we tell them to swear fealty to the house now? And it's just a game that we like to play with them. And sometimes people they react very favorably to that and end up joining us and staying with us for a long time. And that's what we want to do is come on in, be part of our org, help us help you get to where you want to get to in this game. Where do you want to go in this game? What do you want to do? And how can I help you get there? That's our mentality.
Well, that will roll into merger of FP. I'm gonna tap on that.
Okay.
So let me say this: everybody that's in chat, that's part of FP, that's in here, or longtime supporter, and you're like, what is this House Wolf thing? Well, let me tell you guys that my real life has taken flight to be more pressing, and I have not been able to maintain my presence as much as I have been. And I wanted you guys to have a place and good folks that were going to take care of you and bring more activity into, FP. And I was out one day, honestly doing what I normally do, just trying to find some new people to play with and introduce new people to our people, and that's what I typically do. And Sentinel Wolf he's like, yeah, man, you can crew up with us. And I was like, cool, I got like 3 other guys, let's jam down. And then that rolled into, we got like 9 dudes, you know, and I'm like, holy cow, we're gelling pretty good right now. Like this is awesome. And I've been trying to figure out how, like, honestly, FP, I wanted to have the people that we used to have. I really wanted them to kind of pick up where I wasn't able to maintain that activity, but I wasn't, you know, I wasn't in a position, and there were a lot of people absent or people that left. So to me, it made sense for us to have Cutter Wolf and House of Wolf to take over, because that's what it was about, like bringing 2 houses together and merging us into one. They have like-minded mindset from ours. They're not taking away anything that isn't there. They want everybody to gel together and have fun, and that's what it's all about. Like every single person in our Discord, you guys are awesome. You guys have great personalities. I love all of you. I really do. And I just want you to have somebody that can be present more than what I've been doing, because I've been lacking due to what's been going on in my life. And I think that this is a good thing overall, all the way across the board for everybody. Cutter, you got anything that you'd like to?
Yeah, it's very important for you guys to understand that we don't want to take away anything from you guys. We want to just build on what you guys have, give you guys a larger platform with more resources and more people to play with that are in different time zones and stuff, so that there's always somebody here. So it doesn't matter what time you guys, you know, come in to play and stuff, that there's always someone here to play. So if, you know, you come in at some bizarre time zone and stuff, we want somebody in there that says, yeah, man, we're here, and we jump in there and we just go and we do things. And that's the entire idea, is for us to provide the best playing environment we can for you. Now, also keep in mind, we're not just Star Citizen. We like to play several other different games. It's just that this is like the one main, you know, game that we have. We're planning on expanding the Discord to have more channels for different games. So if there's something you guys are currently playing or you want to play and you want to get other people involved and stuff, just hit us up. You'll see there's an actual text channel that we put inside there for suggesting a new channel. Tell us what you want and stuff. We'll make it happen. We'll put it in there and we'll roll with it. Because a lot of us play a lot of different, you know, first person shooters or MMOs or you name it. So, you know, please. And we are really interested in finding out, and I mean honestly want to find out what you guys think of the merger. What can we do to make it better? You know, DM us, DM me. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And it's just an easy thing. We want this to be a very good environment for you. So, you know, please reach out to us. You know, talk to your friends. Tell them, hey, you know, this is going on over there. If you like what you see and you know you want to help us out, come on in, go over, apply at our organ stuff, join us, and start bringing your friends in, and we'll just keep on expanding from there. But we're a good bunch of guys, man. We're not here to boss anybody around or do any kind of crazy crap like that. We're just here to have a good time, man. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, and honestly, like I've always said, this house is your guys' house. Own that, you know, take pride in it. And, you know, even though name shifted, we're going to work something in for Forward Progress as well. So Forward Progress isn't dead. It's just taking another direction under the same umbrella. And, you know, I'm going to say this much. As far as previous mods or admins or anybody that we had in channel, you guys still want those roles, you still want to be active, you know, just talk to Cutter, talk to Sentinel,
Yep.
you know, talk to the group. And, you know, we want people to step up. This is going to be one of the biggest communities, I hope, not just in SC, but probably in other games. It's always been something that I wanted to see happen, because it's just bringing really cool people together to game and have fun.
Yep. Absolutely.
With that being said, like we should talk about the promotion, I guess, system. That's something that wasn't it just something that just clicked into my head. Like maybe like talk to them, Cutter, about what if somebody's looking to do more, I guess.
Yeah. And it's like LT said, we're always looking for people to do mods and for different events and stuff that are going on to help us out as far as helping planning and so that stuff that you're interested in. Please speak up and let us know. The rank structure we have developed here is more to keep things organized, because somebody's got to keep this thing organized, or just turns into a chaotic, out of control environment, and that just ends up lending to be not a fun place to go and play. So that's basically what our rank structure is. If you have aspirations, you're a natural leader or whatever, or you want to learn a leadership position and stuff, we can do that. That's something that we can provide for you. If you just want to show up, have fun, not have any responsibilities and stuff, and do what you want to do, that's cool too. We got no problems with that either. So we're covering the full spectrum here, back and forth. So please, if you, like I said, you got aspirations, or you want to go different things, or you want to see us do something, or if you come up with an event idea or something like that, pass it on. Don't keep it a secret to yourself. Pass it on and stuff. But we have several events planned and several different things, and it's just stuff that we want to do to help get everybody in line and just playing as a cohesive unit, which you would be amazed about how fun it is, especially in the FPS situation, when you've got really good comms discipline and you're running through there and nobody can stop you because your team is dialed in. You got everybody providing the cover that they need to cover. People are doing what they're doing, and they're not even being given direction because they already know the direction. And it just works out so nice. And we've had those kind of events already in our organization, on events that we've done that stuff. And every time when we get done with it, everybody just sits there and raves about what a fantastic time that was, to see that many people cohesively working together as a large team, going through sweeping and clearing, taking out targets, and no one's even having to give commands or directions. It's just little things on the side, and when people see that, they can learn those comm disciplines and stuff, and then figure out why those are so important when they see it in effect. We actually have a video. We have our own YouTube channel, and we have a video inside there where you can actually watch us go inside to one of the contested zones and clear an entire contested zone by ourselves, just unabated. We wipe out everything that's inside there, and you can see and watch how the team actually works. But it's a great time. And same thing with when we're out flying around and we're doing flight squads and stuff, where we're out there and we got a whole squad of fighters and stuff out there taking on targets and stuff, and watching how everybody interacts and stuff. It's amazing, and you just have a good time. Sometimes just great just to sit there and watch and just see this huge battle go on. And one of the best things that we found out that we really enjoy about this game is you go somewhere to do something on some mission, and other players show up and other NPCs start showing up, and just a huge war breaks out, where there's people on the ground, there's ships flying around, everything's exploding, there's missiles and crap flying everywhere, and you're just like, wow, what happened? And just this whole thing breaks out that wasn't planned, and just at the end you're just like, wow, that was freaking awesome. And this game, it just lends to those kind of things, and that's why we like to go out and do all different kinds of missions and stuff, and not stay like we got blinders on and a narrow focus on just doing like FPS combat. We want to be all around, and it helps out when you go out and do these things.
Absolutely. And anybody in chat, if anybody has that web or the YouTube channel for House Wolf, please post it up in chat. Let's see here. I want to also, I guess, say that there is an event going on right now in the arena. So you can get a coin or something. It's a 2v2, and it could definitely help out with tuning in your skill set with a battle buddy, just at that length. And then I guess it's the walk, jog, run kind of mentality.
Yes.
Start out a little bit and then work your way up to getting up and moving and then take off sprinting. So let's I guess, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, Cutter? Like right now I'd say my focus is just I'm going to continue to bring folks in, introduce people to House Wolf. I'm gonna get into game, maybe just see if people want to crew up and find some more people that we can bring in.
Yeah,
Anything?
the only thing I can think of is that, especially for the FP guys that are watching or end up watching this, is, if you're on the outside trying to figure out what's going on and stuff, come in, talk to us, man. Give us a shot. You got nothing to lose by coming in and talking to us, and if you're one of the ones that's been here for a while and you like what you see and you like what you're hearing and stuff, talk to your other friends, bring them on in and stuff, have them come in and have us take a look at them, see if this is what they want to do. Because like I said, we want to build the org out, and in order to do that, we need bodies. It's just a plain and simple fact. We can't do everything ourselves. We've got quite the fleet, but we need people to man those ships. So,
Oh yeah,
that's all
you
I'm
guys
saying.
got quite
Give
the
us a
fleet,
shot.
for God's sakes. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be honest
For,
with
for a small org, we have quite a bit of ships.
yeah, and that is so true. I've told a bunch of guys, I'm like, look at what we currently have. If you need a ship, just talk about it and we'll get you on. And
Yeah. And
if
if
you
there's something, because I have a lot of ships, and I'm not a collector. No matter what Sentinel says, I'm really not a collector. I just like what I like. But if there's a ship that you've been interested in that you've never been on before and want to fly it or whatever, if it's in my hangar, come see me. I'll pull the thing out. You can fly it all day long. It's not going to bother me in the least. Just ask. Say, hey, do you have a whatever and stuff? And I'll pull it out and you can just go fly it wherever you want. And get your mind out of the gutter, Sentinel. I know.
chat, this would be a time to, if you have any questions for Cutter and myself, feel free to oh, it looks like we got some sub going on.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. NFG Game Killer, thank you for gifting 5 subs. You're awesome, man. It is going off in chat.
Thanks, Brian.
Well, anybody in chat, if you guys got questions or anything, please feel free.
Hit us up. Come on, man. The Kraken's almost gone. Bring it on.
We'll give them a minute and see, and then
Forge Master a subscription. NFG underscore game killer gifted a tier 1 sub to Brocker underscore Forge Master.
Massive hype incoming.
I know. There's a lot to take in here. There's a whole lot of sexiness going on up in here, and I understand. So take your time, figure out what you want to say, and bring it.
I had to stave. I had it going for a hot minute, a good beard, but going to Florida and yeah.
NFG underscore game killer gifted Joshel05 a subscription. NFG
It's been cold down here lately. It's only in the 40s today for the high.
Yeah, man. Like that's what my pops and friends and family and have been telling me. Yeah, you are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll just let you guys know in chat, everything that I do in this channel will either go back into the community or towards charitable events or help me with getting equipment that I need to keep doing this show.
If
So
you're not following them
just
yet,
let that
you're missing out on
let
the
you
most
know that.
insane, mind-blowing content on Twitch.
Good-
Smash
good
that
shit
follow
out
button
there,
right
Hunter.
now, and let's blow up the chat with love, hype, and emotes for this legend.
Well, if you guys got nothing to ask, which is crazy, this is your opportunity to literally ask anything. You want to find out if I'm wearing like pink thong underwear? Go ahead and shout that out. I don't, though, just to throw that out there. But I'm just saying, you know, change your panties, right? You know, all that good stuff.
Yeah. It's supposed to be one of those, you know, I rarely wear underwear, but when I do, it's usually something exotic, you know, like, you know, barbed wire or, you know, fishnet, something along those lines.
Hey, you got to keep it spicy, you know,
That's
after
it.
years of time.
That's it.
You sure you're not wearing that? No, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you know, it's been a while since I got hammered and found myself like wondering, where am I?
Nope.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this up. If you guys don't have any questions, you got 10 seconds, and then
We out.
yeah, we out. All right, Cutter. So, man, it was a blast getting to talk to you. I'm really happy that our two houses came together.
Me too.
I'm looking forward to the future, seeing where we're gonna go. Everybody in here, whether you're FP or House of Wolf, you guys rock. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, and we're gonna keep doing awesome things. You guys are gonna be really happy. I promise you, because I think everybody in here has the same mentality of wanting to see everybody excel together.
Yep.
So I'll leave that with Dragoons.
This
All
is
right.
the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
All right, boys and girls. Next weekly report, we're going to be taking off 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I know we just kicked this one off, but it needed to happen. I'm going to be probably talking to Sentinel next. So, Sentinel Wolf, you're on the books for being a guest. So, prepare yourself. You know, you might be asked about what kind of panties you wear too. But with that being said, thanks guys for tuning in. Thank you again, NFG Game Killer, for those 5 subs. And if you got a sub and you're currently in here, make sure you thank that man. Yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next adventure, and this video will be posted up, so please tell your friends, family, and everybody that wants to get to know Cutter Wolf. And
And thanks for the opportunity, LT. I appreciate it.
oh, absolutely, sir. I think this is going to be an amazing adventure together. I really do.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.